Welcome back into hour number 2 of Wisconsin Sports on the Go with Trage. I'm your host, Trage, as we come back here on this Wednesday. And hey, this next segment here, Umer is stopping by. We're going to talk a little Packers. This next segment is brought to you by Badger Tree Care, the local tree care business serving Clark and surrounding counties. They do free estimates. They provide tree removal, tree trimming, pruning, full cleanup, small lot clearing, storm cleanup. They do it all. Call them there. Badger Tree Care. Trevor, he does fantastic work. Check them out on Facebook. You can see all of the work that they do. It is absolutely awesome what they can do. There, 1 second there's a tree, next second it looks like it was never there. They leave it looking brand new. It's just fantastic. And they leave it looking like they were never there. That's what you want from a tree care company, and that's what they do. That's what they do. Badger Tree Care there with Trevor Barr. So Umer is here. Umer, how we doing on this Wednesday?
I'm not too bad, man. I'm not too bad. I'm just getting over a cold right now. So if you guys hear a little coughing, a little nasaliness, a little whatever, I apologize in advance. But I am looking forward to Thanksgiving tomorrow. I'm looking forward to the game. I'm looking forward to trying to stuff in my face, either from a gluttonous perspective of a victory or a loss. Either way, I'm going to stuff my belly. And I'm doing, otherwise, not pretty good, man. I'm just good news. I think I finally finished everything for my bachelor's today and yesterday. So I hope we'll be done with my bachelor's finally after like 25 years. So I'm really excited about that. And so, yeah, pretty good, man. How are you doing?
I was just going to try and find I don't have any clapping. I was going to see if I had a clapping tune that I could play in the background. Therefore, congratulations. There you go. Congratulations. That is awesome to hear. We're doing great. Thanksgiving right around the corner, like you said. How are you spending it? How are you spending Thanksgiving? Are you in charge? Is somebody else in charge?
Oh, someone else is in charge. Someone else is always in charge. My wife's family goes pretty big.
You are lucky, my friend. You are lucky.
Yeah. I just have to show up. I have to assist in any way I can. I have to make sure that my wife has everything she needs to cook whatever dish she's making or 2 dishes she's making, and then just be there for moral support, because they know that when the football games turn on, I kind of get like very like antisocial. So, and when the Packers are playing, I'm really antisocial. So yeah, but yeah, we always have it at one of her cousins' houses, or we host. And so this year we're going to their house, so we're looking forward to it. It's always a good time.
It's always good when somebody's in charge of the cooking. That's
Absolutely.
all that matters. Christian and I were just talking about it, and he's got his Thanksgiving that he's got to go to. He's in charge of the turkey. I got mine. We have ours going over to my wife's family's, and then we're doing a little thing on Saturday there, and I'm making the turkey, and it's like, I said I would do it. I felt confident at first, and then the more I think about it and the more I talk about it, it's like, that's the main thing. Like, that's the main course. Like, you screw this up, you're done. Like, that's it. You just screwed up everybody's day. Like, that's just,
everyone knows and never forget.
right. It's like, oh, this is okay. So it's my fault now. All right, whatever.
Okay, fine.
Whatever.
I guess I'm never coming again.
Yeah, whatever. I'm not gonna show up. This is why I stay antisocial and I sit on the couch and watch sports. This is why I don't talk to anybody. So, anyways, whatever. This is why I don't let you over to my house. Either way. So, anyways, I'm glad to hear. It's gonna be a good Thanksgiving for you and yours. And okay. So let's talk Packers here. Yeah. And if anybody wants to chime into the Packer talk, make sure you're doing it. 715-990-4914. That is 715-990-4914. We'd love to hear you guys' thoughts coming off the Vikings game, looking ahead to the Lions game, impressions on the Packers, as we've seen as of late. Well, let's talk about that impression that we got off of that Vikings game, because I don't know why, but there was so many. And I can't even count on my phone calculator adding up like number 111 plus 1, just keep going on the numbers. I can't add up how many people were like depressed with this win because it wasn't enough, right? Because they look at the stat book and they say, okay, well, Jordan Love only threw for 139 yards and, this and that. And it's like, you only, it's 23-6. It wasn't crazy impressive. I'm going to go, I don't know if you like the opposite of this and say, I like the win. It was a solid win. The defense showed out, which is what you want. And honestly, you want me to be honest with you? You want it like a team that knocked you out of the playoffs last year and went to the Super Bowl. Like they win football games. Defense, offense has just got to be there. Sometimes you don't need the offense to do a lot. Sometimes you just need the offense to be good enough. And that's what they were on this day. The run game was working. The defense was carrying. Why do anything more? Like everybody just wants, I do too at times. I'm not going to lie. I do too. Yeah. I want to see Jordan Love just open it up. I do. At times, I just want to see him go crazy. I want to see him throw, just make some plays like we know he can, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But other times, I just Packers win football games and go away winning. That's all I want. And this was a game what they won. And yet we still have people coming off this like, not impressed. They weren't enough. Matt LaFleur this. He doesn't know how to work Jordan Love. Jordan Love's not a good quarterback. Why do the Packers think that they have a franchise quarterback with this guy when he's not? The Bears quarterback situation's better. Blah, 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 blah. And you see it all over the place. Umer, why? I mean, let's start there. Were you impressed coming off? You don't have to say impressed. I don't need like impressed.
No. Yeah.
56-3. Not impressed, but you weren't like let down. Like this wasn't a letdown game. You were fine coming off it, and it's a little over people to be depressed, I guess, or like sad coming off this game.
I think that I was very impressed with the win because that was a team that swept us last year, that had our number the year before. Last year they swept us. The year before we tied with them, right? And I'm sorry, like we went 1-5 in the division last year. So in that game, I saw us do what a lot of people were complaining was like run the ball, but it was successful running the ball. Emmanuel Wilson Sr. looked absolutely amazing. We had complimentary football on all three phases for once, which Bisaccia got his flowers for once. And defense played lights out. And I think there's a lot of fans out there like, well, they should have scored 40 or this or that or whatever. And I'm like, those fans are just never going to be happy. Because at the end of the day, what you said at the beginning of the show is exactly what it is. A W. That's all I care is win the game and keep it moving because all this is window dressing. When you get to the playoffs, again, if we win the playoff games like this too, I don't care. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. I mean, I remember when we went to the NFC Championship game and Rodgers threw what? He had 1 touchdown, 2 picks, but he ran a touchdown and his numbers were horrible in the NFC Championship game, right? But did we get to a Super Bowl? Yes, we did. I think there are just some fans out there that's never happy and there's a lot of folks that come into the Twitter sphere lately have that just complain because they like to feed into the negativity of everything. For me, that was an amazing game. I think that the questions we had on defense were answered. I think Jordan's left shoulder injury was probably a lot worse than we think it was, and that's why they probably kind of pulled back on the passing. But when he had to make his plays, he made his plays. From a fantasy perspective, I wish Jordan had thrown a couple touchdowns to help me win a couple games. Absolutely, I do. But at the end of the day, I'm a Packer fan first, and I'll take that. And I had Emmanuel Wilson going as many leagues as I can get him, and he showed out for me. But I think what you notice as Packer fans, they're just fans out there that complain. Nothing is ever good enough. And the sad thing is, if Jordan had threw 4 touchdowns and they lost the game, they would have been mad about that too, right? Yeah. And they put 40 on the board, or they put 20, or they put 23. End of the day, W is all that matters. And I think what that game reminded me of was a lot of what Tom Brady used to do in his career, right? There were times where he didn't have gaudy numbers, right? But he leaned on his run game, he leaned on his defense, and he would churn out wins, right? And why that dude eventually got 7 Super Bowls. Some with asterisks, I'll say, but at the end of the day, he still did it. And I think like we finally have a quarterback who doesn't have to be the main guy to get a W. And as much as I love Rodgers, I'm not a Rodgers hater. There were times I felt like, he would want to put the team on his back no matter what, and not just take the layups or not take the easy ways out to get a victory.
Right. And you look at the second half for the Vikings. What did you want? I mean, you had a punt, 3 plays. This is the second half for the Minnesota Vikings, third quarter. So it started out, the Packers punted, ended up getting the ball back anyways. Yeah. And then they had the touchdown. And then punt, the Vikings had a 3-and-out. Then the next drive, punt, 3-and-out. Next drive for the Vikings, 3-and-out, punt. Then they threw the interception on the first play of the drive in their next drive. And then the next one, they threw an interception after 5 plays. Why do you want to push the ball? Where do you want to push the ball to? Exactly. What your defense is carrying, you're just fine. You're walking this game. Why force anything? The only thing that could have went wrong in that one was Jordan Love tried to force the issue and try to put up numbers and threw some picks. And gave up some good yardage for Minnesota and put them in a good spot. Yep. The Packers, they won the game how they were supposed to. This was a team. J.J. McCarthy hasn't been feeling it. We've seen that. Now he's out with concussion. Hopefully, he gets well. I don't know what happened because it just was a weird thing. But, I mean, hopefully everything's fine with him. Yeah. But, I mean, the run game was going for you. Why force anything? Why? I mean, there's no reason
Why would you?
In a game like this. Yes. And let's go there. The defense stepping up.
Yeah.
in this game. The second half, I mean, the first half, I was okay. You got to play it by halves because the first half I got a little nervous because I said to myself, they're allowing the one thing that the Vikings can do is run the football. They're allowing them to do the one thing that they need to do to win this game, and that's control the run game. I got worried.
Yeah.
And then the second half came around, they figured that out. Let's kind of start there. So what impressed you, I guess, in the second half? They kind of stepped up in that run game there and were able to get some stops. What impressed you in that second half there that they kind of switched it up from the first?
I think when the Packers got enough lead, they just put their ears back and they were like, hey, we're not scared of McCarthy. We're not scared of what he's going to do. And look, we lost Nixon by him literally running into Devontae Wyatt on the sideline and then falling over. And Devontae could have just moved or catched him. But no, he just stood there and let him get hit, and like now his neck and stingers. He's limited participant today in practice or yesterday in practice. So I'm hoping that he could play. But Kamal Haddon came in and played well. I think what we noticed in the second half was they were able to lock in on Aaron Jones and Jordan Mason. They were able to make them one-dimensional. And even though Kamal Haddon, who had 0 snaps on defense, if you go back and look at his tape and look at all his snaps, he was playing well. Like he was playing in the face of multiple times in Jefferson, Naylor, Addison, and then when they would break off, he was able to stay with them in coverage. He looked good. Like I know we have Nate Hobbs, I know we have other guys. I think CV is a starter no matter what, and I think Nixon's a starter too. But I think Kamal Haddon should get some snaps. He should be out there playing because he looked good. And I have no confidence in Nate Hobbs right now. I don't know if he'll ever be able to be the guy we thought he was going to be, but I definitely did see Kamal Haddon look amazing. I thought Isaiah McDuffie played extremely well. I think the way they were able to find out that JJ McCarthy was not that guy is what made them feel like, hey, we can basically do whatever we want. And they did.
Yeah, and that's what you wanted to see. We talked about it going in, putting pressure on J.J. McCarthy, and that's exactly what the Packers did. Exactly what we needed them to do. They did it in this one. I completely agree with you there. They talked about Haddon a little bit. I think it was Halfley was talking about him a little bit, and he said they've been looking for ways to get him in. I don't know if it was Halfley or LaFleur. I'm not 100% sure which one it was. But either way, one of those two was saying they've been looking for ways to get him into the rotation a little bit, and this just gave him, in a bad way, gave them the ability to get him into there. The Nate Hobbs thing, I was listening. I can't remember who it was. If it was Andy Herman was talking with a guy today or who it was. But they kind of said it great. They said, the Packers are always looking to try to find versatile guys. They aren't looking for a certain thing. They're looking for versatile guys. And I think that's what they were thinking they were getting in Nate Hobbs, was a guy who could go inside, outside. The problem was you didn't really need that. You had Davian Bullard at the nickel. You didn't need another guy. So it's like it was, you should have grabbed depth at the corner spot, if anything, to play on the outside, a veteran or whatever it was. Not a guy that you were looking, because he's versatile. That's where the Packers kind of run into the issue, I guess, all the time, is they always want that versatile guy. So defense stepped up. A certain player stepped up. Like you said, Isaiah McDuffie steps up big filling in for Quay. We saw Haddon step up big. We saw Emmanuel Wilson step up big for Josh Jacobs in that one. So you love to see all that kind of stuff there. Before I got to let you go, because I know you're feeling under the weather, so I don't want to keep you for too stinking long here tonight. But right now, where does this Packer team sit in the North for you? I kind of talked about it earlier. I talked about, Bears fans and everything, complaining because they're not getting respect off their name. Where does this team sit for you right now in the North? The Lions are right there. The Bears are up top. Where does this team sit for you right now? The eye test, as you've seen.
I think the Packers are proving to everybody that they're the kind of team that can find ways to win no matter what. They are starting to find some consistency from game to game, from the Giants to this game. I think them figuring out a way to handle Aaron Banks, because he doesn't practice the day before the game, so they kind of rest him, and that actually has been working out well. Putting Anthony Belton at right guard, which you and me have both talked about, worked out fantastic. I think they need to stick with that. I think they need to stop with the rotation for Jordan Morgan. And I think, if anything, maybe you rotate Morgan on left tackle.
Yeah,
and just start getting him snaps over there. I feel like this team right now has a chance to possibly get the division back after multiple years of not winning it. I think the Bears, people will hype up the Bears, but at the end of the day, the Bears defense is giving up on average, between 24 to 30, 42 points a game. They don't, they barely beat the Vikings, and they had JJ McCarthy, right? No. And I'm not impressed by the Bears, and they have a negative 6-point differential when it comes to all their wins and losses. And this is the gauntlet of their schedule. Like, they play the Philadelphia Eagles on Friday, Black Friday. I can't wait to see that game. And Detroit Lions, they are a force to be reckoned with on offense. But again, they had to go to overtime against the Giants in home. Like when we played them in New York, and we were able to beat them. But they literally had to take them to overtime to beat them in their own stadium. So again, I think their defense is still not where it needs to be. I think that you're starting to see some cracks in the offensive line that was very much like one of the top 3 offensive lines in the league, and you're trying to see some cracks there. Not really impressed with those 2 teams. And of course, the Vikings are the Vikings, right? They mortgaged their future for JJ McCarthy. Seems like that was a bad decision. And they're probably going to be right down the bottom for the division this year. Things. I think I like the chance for the Packers. I think that getting Jayden Reed back hopefully this week, us getting our guys back at the right time for the final run stretch is going to be really key. And I'm not going to lie, Micah Parsons, he looked like a man possessed. And if he can keep that up for the remainder of the season into the playoffs, watch out.
Yeah. No, there's been a lot of social media chatter with Micah Parsons and a lot of well-known analysts and reporters, everything like that. So he's definitely getting a little fuel to the fire at this very moment. I would agree completely. You know, the Bears, I don't like the Bears. I've said this before. I don't like the Bears. But if they do go to Philly and they win that game, and they do go to Lambeau and they win that game, not going to win, right? We don't want that, but not going to win. But if they do go and do those things, okay, now we have a conversation. But until you do those things, you will forever still be pegged as the team who has barely beat the Steelers without Aaron Rodgers. Barely beat this team, barely beat that team. That's where this team is at right now. It's not that anybody doesn't see the record and say, well, they're playing good football. Right. They're playing good football. It's just, is the eye test there enough to say that they're going to play this kind of football consistently and being able to beat somebody at their best, be able to beat a good team at their best? That's what we're going to find out with the Eagles, because that is a very good team who knows how to win ugly. And I wish Packer fans, we would accept that, because that's what this game was. 23-6 wasn't even ugly. But look at the Eagles did 2 weeks in a row. Yes. Beat the Lions, beat the Packers. Both games 10-7 and 13-6. Like what was the second? Like that was like 13-6, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was ugly.
It was an ugly game, but they won. And a win's a win, as we're talking about with the Bears too. A win's a win. But the way that they're winning games, just shutting teams down offensively, and just doing enough offensively. Sometimes that's all you got to do. So, we're going to see what they do. We're going to see what the Packers do here coming up on Thanksgiving against the Lions, and then we're going to see what the Bears do against Eagles coming up on Friday.
Can't believe it. I'm looking for both of those. I think that's
some good stuff.
Yeah, all the games on Thursday and Friday are amazing, man. I can't wait. They're going to be fun.
I can't wait. Some good stuff. Great stuff there across the NFL slate. So, Umer, thank you as always for stopping by tonight. He's trying to hold back. He's hacking right now. He's trying to hold it back while I'm talking here. Umer, thank you as always for stopping by. Let's get you out of here. Let's hit a commercial break. Let the people know where to find you across social media.
Absolutely. Find me at AMAR3455 on Twitter and X. You can find me all over social media with AMAR345 or 3455, Coast to Coast Packers. Hiatus last 2 weeks. I'll be honest with you guys. School's been kind of kicking my butt. Work's been kicking my butt. Now that all that's done, me and Trey will be back this week. We'll be talking. We'll be doing our thing. That's my fault, Trey. I apologize about that, but I'll get us back on track there and kind of run from there, man.
Oh, you're good. You've been under the weather. You've had a lot of stuff going on. It happens. Life happens. It comes at you fast. Umer, thank you as always. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your family. We'll catch you back here next week on the show, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. When we come back for the break here, we're going to continue the Packer Talk. We're going to wrap it up here with the Packer Talk, and then we're going to jump over. Kyle's going to hop on in a little bit. We got some Bucs talk to get to later on in the show and some NFL talk to wrap us up for the day. So we'll be right back here on Wisconsin Sports on the Go with Trage. I'm your host, Trage, as we come back here on this Wednesday. And hey, this next segment, we're going to wrap up the Packer Talk before we got to jump over to Kyle real quick here to talk some Bucs. This next segment is brought to you by Sport and Spine Clinic of Greenwood, Wisconsin. Their expert traditional physical therapy and structural integration programming. Call for flexible scheduling and evaluations. Just call Chad down there at Sport and Spine Clinic of Greenwood, Wisconsin. He'll get you right doing whatever you were doing, feeling better than ever. Sport and Spine Clinic of Greenwood, Wisconsin there. So we're just talking a little Packers there. Umer stopped by to start out hour number 2. We're talking a little bit of Packers, and if you guys have missed any portion of the show here tonight, make sure you're listening back across all podcast platforms next day. Like, subscribe, follow. It helps us. It'd be awesome if you guys could do that for us there. Like, subscribe, follow across all social media platforms. And if you want to comment, if you want to get your voice heard here on the show, text me 715-990-4914. That is 715-990-4914. So we're talking about the Packers a little bit. We wrapped up what we saw against the Vikings there, kind of like our impressions, why people were it's just too many people down about a solid win by the Green Bay Packers. So that was definitely something I wanted to talk about there, which we did in that last little section. Now we look ahead. Lions coming up here tomorrow, Thursday, Thanksgiving, a big one there. This is a Lions team. You beat them opening week of the season there, or opening game of the season, right? For this Packers team, you beat them there at home, 27-13, a good win to start the year. But now this is a little bit different of a test. You go on the road, it's Thanksgiving. You embarrassed them last year on Thanksgiving. This is a solid team. They're 7-4. They're third in the North. I believe they're outside the playoff picture right now if you looked at it. But like I said, all the way around, Jared Goff is still playing some good football. Jahmyr Gibbs has been fantastic for him there. They still have the 1-2 punch of him and David Montgomery. And then you look across on the defense, Jack Campbell has played great for him there this season. Jack Campbell, the linebacker. Isn't he? I believe he's out of Iowa. Yeah, he's out of Iowa there. That's what I thought. I was like, he sounds like he was sounds like the guy out of Iowa. So Jack Campbell has been fantastic. Anzalone's been great. The back end of that defense is good. This is going to be a game where you're going to have to let Jordan Love go at it a little bit, but it's going to be a very, very hinged on what is Josh Jacobs. Is he back in the lineup? Is he going to be there for the Packers? He's going to be back in the backfield. And then how do they split that load between him and Emmanuel Wilson, who looked good last week there for this team, for the Green Bay Packers? So we'll see kind of what they do with that running back spot. This thing is going to be keep Jordan Love upright, keep the pocket clean, let him make the plays. Is Matthew Golden back? Can you get your playmakers involved like Christian Watson? This is a different game, right? Tucker Kraft was there week one. You also had Sam Laporta there week one for the Lions. You're not going to see either one of those guys in this game. So it's a different game. Don't look back at week one and say, okay, this is what's going to happen again. Completely different circumstance, completely different game in this one here. Should be a good one there from Ford Field. Fantastic one coming up on Thanksgiving. So we're going to hit a break. We're going to come back here. Kyle's going to stop by. We're going to talk some Bucks here, and then we're going to talk some NFL, and we're going to get out of here for the day. We'll be right back here on Wisconsin Sports on the Go with Trage. Kyle's going to be stopping by. We're going to talk some Bucks on Wisconsin Sports on the Go with Trage. I'm your host, Trage, as we come back here on this Wednesday. And hey, this next segment, Kyle is stopping by. We're going to talk a little Bucks. We're going to talk a little NFL here as we get to the end of the show. This next segment is brought to you by B&H Concrete Lifting. Are you tired of tripping over sunken driveways, patios, or sidewalks? With B&H Concrete Lifting, you can ditch the trip hazards without breaking the bank on new concrete and have it leveled for less than half the cost. I don't know what more I have to say. Less than half the cost of new concrete to stop you from tripping, stop from that shovel getting driven into your gut because you're pushing along there and it just comes back and hits you. You didn't expect it. You're on the driveway. You're crying. It's a whole thing. We got snow coming. Make sure you're getting that driveway leveled out before you get that. And that is with our friends down there at B&H Concrete Lifting. So Kyle is here. Kyle, how we doing on this Wednesday?
Oh, I'm great. It's Thanksgiving week, which is always a kind of a pillar moment in the NFL season. NBA is definitely well underway, so lot to watch these days.
Feast week. It's feast week, Kyle. That's all we need to know. ESPN sells this feast week for us there. So what are the plans, Kyle? What are the plans for Thanksgiving? Are you cooking? Is somebody else cooking? What are the plans for Thanksgiving?
Usually with the family, mom cooks.
Mom cooks. That's always good, though. Like, let somebody else have the pressure of cooking. Christian and I were talking about it earlier. He was talking about he's got to make the turkey for his family's get together, and then I have to make the turkey for so we're going to a wife's family on Thanksgiving, and then some of the families coming over on Saturday there to my house, and it's like I'm in charge of the turkey then. Oh man, it's like the pressure is on now. The pressure's on my Traeger. There's a lot of things with pressure on it. It's nerve-wracking now. I'm just thinking about it now as we're getting close to the end of the show, and I'm like, okay, is the turkey gonna be fine? Like, what's going on? So yeah, there's a whole thing with that. So So Kyle, there's only one thing we can do, like as we always do. We gotta do the Mellow Yellow Minute. the trivia portion of the show in honor of my grandpa. He loved trivia and he loved Mellow Yellow, so we call it the Mellow Yellow Minute. And make sure if you guys got your favorite beverage, crack that thing open right now. We have our Mellow Yellow Minute question, top 5 of the day here. Kyle, there's no other way we could do it. We had to do our top Thanksgiving side dishes. So I'm going to give the top 5. And as always, if you guys are out there, if you want to be involved in this, 715-990-4914. That is 715-990-4914. If you hit me up with the answer, the top 5 in order, before Kyle does, we'll get you a t-shirt from our new sponsor down there, our new sponsor down there that can get us some t-shirts there. So, Kyle, here we go. Green bean casserole, sweet potatoes, mashed potatoes, stuffing and dressing, or mac and cheese.
Okay. Five, I'll go mashed potatoes.
It is not mashed potatoes.
Okay.
That's a mashed potato hater right there.
I mean, I eat all of these. I'm trying to. Green bean casserole, 5.
Green bean casserole at number 5. There you go.
Okay. 4. Let's go sweet potatoes.
It is not sweet potatoes. Close. Not sweet potatoes.
Is it mashed potatoes?
Not mashed potatoes.
Okay. I thought it was one of the potatoes. It's gotta be stuffing then.
Not stuffing.
Really? Mac
and cheese at number 4. Mac and cheese at number 4. So you have mashed potatoes, stuffing, and sweet potatoes left on the list.
The green bean casserole, mac and cheese. Then I'll go mashed potatoes.
Not mashed potatoes.
Okay, I'm doing terrible on this one.
Last week you rolled
potatoes.
it. Sweet potatoes is it. Sweet potatoes is it.
Okay.
So you're between mashed potatoes and stuffing for 1 and 2.
I'm assuming stuffing is 1 and mashed potatoes are 2.
Yes, it is. There you go.
Okay.
I mean, you bounced back. It was ugly to start, but you
I
bounced.
was just figuring out where the potatoes
The
sat.
potatoes
Okay.
were the problem right in the middle there. The potatoes were definitely the problem. So if you guys got that one before Kyle did, you can win a t-shirt from our sponsor down there, JBC Screen Printing and Embroidery LLC. They're a brand new sponsor. I was going to say it before, and I always butcher this part. I should know this, but I always between JCB and JBC. Well, I was just about to say J, and I caught myself, and I was like, "Oh no, I gotta make sure I say it right because I don't want to butcher it." So I'm sorry. I don't like. It's not like I don't pay attention. It's just like so many things going on in my mind right now, and it's like I didn't want to butcher a name, so I waited till the end. But if you got it before he did, you can get a spot from our great sponsor there, JBC Screen Printing and Embroidery. They do fantastic work. They got our t-shirts are now available. Go to the Facebook page. You can find the link there. I got it shared on there. Find the link. Go grab a t-shirt. You can help support Warm Kids Wisconsin. $5 from every t-shirt goes to Warm Kids Wisconsin. And what more do you need to know? Donate to the kids this holiday season. That's what you need to know there. Grab a t-shirt, grab a hat, maybe grab a sweatshirt. Somebody on your Christmas list needs something. Grab it up there. Help kids out. Don't help us. We don't need the money. The kids need the money. And that's what we're trying to do here with those t-shirts there, getting a little donation going. So, Kyle, let's get to the box. Let's talk a little bucks here. The Giannis list box. It has been a struggle to say the least as late here for the Bucks. They've dropped 5 straight. They're below 500 now, 8-10. It's looking worse than it is better at this point. Giannis can't get back soon enough, if you ask a lot of Buck fans. The panic meter, we talked about the other day. The panic meter, the other day we were talking, it's at like a 5. Now it's at like a 9 or a 10 at this point here. It's like, okay, if Giannis isn't there, this is a completely different looking team. What have you seen as of late here? Is there maybe a silver lining, maybe some good that we can see out of this? What have you seen as of late here out of the Bucks?
I mean, I think one thing that I've noticed is, probably not a good thing, but the rebounding has become an issue. And I think that's where you miss Giannis, because the last 4 games they've lost the rebounding battle in 3 of the 4 games. The only game they won the rebounding battle was against the Pistons, but unfortunately the Pistons shot like 53% from 3. So what you're noticing is like the defense and closing out defensive possessions is where the struggle is happening with this team. I do think maybe where there is a bit of a good, I feel like Bobby Portis has played well. He's, averaging like 18 and 7. And for Bobby Portis, you'll take that. So that's probably the good as Bobby Portis. I guess you want to look at bad. Miles Turner is 13 and 8. I feel like he, especially rebounding wise, I feel like he should be in the double digits. And then Kuzma, 16 points. I like that. He's only been averaging 4 rebounds. So they have to kind of get a collective effort to help out on the boards, because I think that's where they're losing these games. It's second chance points. You have, because long rebounds with a lot of these teams that shoot threes. I think that's where the Bucks are missing Giannis the most right now on the boards. They have to figure that out if they want to turn around this kind of losing streak that they're on right now.
So it's hard to look ahead right now for this team, but
Yep.
Is there in your eyes, can you give the clear cut? I know you kind of just did there, but what is your clear cut? This is what they have to do to get this back on track, to get the wheels back on track here, try and survive, maybe salvage a game here or 2 here coming up. What are those things that you're looking for? I know you kind of hinted at some there, but some of those things that you're kind of like, this is what they have to do moving forward, get this thing back on track, because just looking ahead at the schedule, you got the Heat coming up next. That's tonight here. As we're talking, they're taking on the Heat. And then after that, I mean, you do have winnable games on the schedule. I mean, you got the Knicks, but then you have Brooklyn, then you have Washington. So you're going to have some tough games. You got a couple road games, then you come back home and they go back on the road there, but some winnable games. So what are you looking at? What do they got to do to get this thing back on track in these upcoming games against the Heat, Knicks, Brooklyn, Washington there?
Well, I guess in conjunction with the rebounding, defend the 3-point line. That's also been a bit of a disturbing trend that I'm starting to see, is that, and I think this is something that the Bucks have probably had to deal with for years now. Their philosophy has kind of been pack the paint and kind of let you shoot from the perimeter. Problem is, long rebounds, they're not getting out to those. So I think they kind of have to switch it up and maybe defend a little bit further out, and then kind of gang rebound where, you're blocking your man up top, and then, you kind of make it easier for Turner and those guys in the middle there. Because you just named off some teams. The Heat have Bam Adebayo, who's on the glass. The Nets have Nick Claxton, which literally all he does is he's on the glass. So just up against 2 guys like that, you really have to make a concerted effort to just close out defensive possessions, because you're already losing Giannis's offensive production, which now, that margin of error has shrunk. So you can't give away possessions and give second chance on the other end, because your scoring is probably down a little bit. So you have to make sure that you can step up there and then still be somewhat proficient offensively. And like I said, Miles Turner, I feel like, broken record, need more from him, both scoring and rebounding.
Right. Okay, so give me your panic meter. We're in week 1 without Giannis, and it could be 2 weeks. It could be a long. I mean, you never know. Those injuries are very hit or miss.
Mm-hmm.
What is your panic meter at watching this Bucks team without Giannis? You're not expecting Giannis to come back guns a-blazing right off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
What is where is your head at right now? If you're a Bucks fan looking at this, you're saying to yourself what?
You're saying that you just want this team to, I mean, it's still early in the season, so even when he does come back, they can still make some headway, but you don't want them to fall too far behind the pack.
Right.
Because right now, when Giannis went out, they were about top 5. They're now 11th in the East. Obviously, he's going to come back at some point. You don't expect him to stay there. But, the Bucks, we were talking about it a couple of weeks ago, they could be a top 6 team. And right now, you're about 3 games behind the 6th place Hawks. And in between there, you have a Sixers team that is decent. The Magic are a team that's been disappointing, but they could very well go on a run and shoot up the standings as well. And the Bulls are the team that you're looking at as the team that you could probably jump once Giannis gets back. But that's my only thing. Like, get some wins. Even if you're still in 11th, as long as you're kind of in arm's reach, you should feel okay. Panic meter, I would probably be around an 8 or a 9.
Right.
Because of the rebounding margin. And like I said, Bam Adebayo and Nick Claxton are coming up next. Those are 2 guys who could clean up on the boards.
It might be a time where you got to see a little bit, maybe of a guy like Jericho Sims, maybe a guy like that, where he's a little more physical, maybe can get after it. But like you said, Miles Turner has got to be we've talked about this before.
It's all on Turner.
He's got to be the big guy that you brought him in to be. Like you let Brook Lopez go because this Miles Turner was supposed to be your guy to put next to Giannis and be that dominant front court for you. And it just hasn't been that yet. So yeah, I completely am all with you that it's got to start with Miles Turner. It's got to finish with Miles Turner at this point. Yeah. That is what you brought him in for. That is what you paid him for. You don't give money like that to a guy, especially if you're the Bucks, if you didn't expect him to not to be able to take that next step in Milwaukee and build next to Giannis. So I'm right there with you. So let's look around the league here. I know you kind of just went through the standings there talking about the Bucks, but let's jump around the league here real quick. Give me let's just look around the league. Let's go top 5 in each one. Who are your top 5 teams right now? Okay, let's go top 5. Complete league. West, East. Just go. Okay. Let's go wild with it, right? Let's go big. West, East, both together. Give me your top 5. Give me your NBA power rankings right now. Top 5.
So Thunder is still number 1. They're 17-1. They look like they're not going to have any hangover from last year. I think that's a given. Second, I'm taking Detroit. I love what they're doing. They're a young team. They play with a lot of energy. Cade Cunningham has definitely stepped his game up. I like watching the Pistons play. They're 2 for me. 3, I'll go with the Nuggets. Like, it's fascinating to me how the Nuggets fly under the radar when they have Jokic, who year in, year out is an MVP candidate.
Right.
Never hear anybody talk about them. Aaron Gordon's been in and out of the lineup, but they still keep winning. So they're 3 for me. 4 tricky, but I'll go Rockets at 4. I like what they're getting from their young players and Amen Thompson and Sengun. Plus, you still have Kevin Durant, who the biggest thing the Rockets needed was a guy who could just get you a bucket, and they got Durant. So I have them 4. And then 5, I will go. There's a lot of teams to choose from for 5, but you know what? I'll give the Lakers a respect and give them 5. Luka and Austin Reeves are playing really well. They're just getting LeBron back. See how they can factor him into what they've been doing without him so far. So, look, you have Luka. We've seen Luka do this. I have to put the Lakers at 5.
Yeah, I like that. It's a good top 5 right there. So there is Kyle's top 5 in the NBA, his power rankings in the NBA as of this week here, November 26th edition for Kyle there. So we're going to come back. Kyle's going to stick around. We're going to hit a break. We're going to come back. We have some NFL to talk about on the backside. We're going to talk about Kyle's NFL power rankings on the backside. Dive into a little bit of NFL. We got our pick 'em for the week. We're going to wrap it up here and get you guys off to your Thanksgiving festivities. So we'll be back here after this quick commercial break here on Wisconsin Sports Trades. We come back here as we're wrapping it up here in hour number 2 of the show here tonight. I hope you guys are enjoying your Wednesday. And hey, this next segment, we're going to talk a little NFL. This next segment is brought to you by Peggy Sue Bellish, a lifelong resident of Central Wisconsin. Peggy Sue with Century 21 Gold Key Realty knows the area and the market. Whether you're buying or selling residential or commercial, Peggy Sue has the knowledge and experience to help you find your dream home, help you sell your home, whatever it is. Give her a call there. Peggy Sue, 715-305-4345. That is 715-305-4345. So, Kyle, I notice when we get to the end of the show, I just start like my wordplay and everything. I start losing my words. Like I think I'm saying something and then it's not actually what I'm saying. It's like you talk for so long that you're just out of it at that point. I'm in Thanksgiving fever right now. I'm just ready for the turkey. I'm ready for the food. I'm ready for the football. And that's what we're here to talk about, Kyle. We're here to talk about these football games we got coming up. So, but before we get there, we got to talk Kyle's power rankings coming off of what week are we in? Are we all the way to week 13 already or something like that? Goodness, it's week 13, Kyle. This is wild. It's week 13 here. Kyle, week 13, going into it, who do you have power rankings in the NFL? Let's start NFC. Who is your NFC top 5?
So I think the best team in the NFC, got to give it to the Rams.
I was going to say the Bears. Kyle is going to end this and kick you out.
I mean, look, they have Stafford. You have Devontae Adams. You have the guys on the defense there. They've beaten the Seahawks, who are another team I have really highly regarded. So I got to give them that. I think second, I'm probably still going to keep the Seahawks up there. I just like so much about their team, especially defensively. Defense travels in the playoffs, so I have to have them 2. Now 3 is where it gets interesting because there's a few teams that may have winning records, but I just don't like the way that they're playing right now. So 3, I'd probably go Packers at 3.
Oh.
Jordan Love, the pieces that they have on offense, I think that they're still probably the favorite to win that division. I'm not completely bought in on the Bears yet, so I'll put the Packers at 3. I think 4, the NFC is so tricky. 4, I'm actually going to go with the Lions. I know they're like on the outside looking in the playoffs right now, but Jahmyr Gibbs is coming off a 260-yard rushing day. I think they're poised to win again, probably Thursday. And I think the Lions might hit a bit of a stride right now, so I'll put them at 4. And then 5.
Do you leave the Bears out for the Eagles, or do you leave the Eagles out for the Bears?
I may leave both out because I'm probably I probably trust the 49ers more, even though they're coming off that ugly game against the Panthers. They have CMC. They have Kittle. Defensively, Salah's been doing a lot with them. I just don't like what the Eagles are doing offensively. And the Bears, I'm still not sold that they are this good.
Right.
The Bears would probably be right outside. The Bears would probably be 6 for me. I probably like what the Bears are doing right now more than the Eagles.
The Bears haven't won pretty, and they haven't beat anybody good. That's the thing. They haven't beat anybody good yet. They're going to have a test. If they beat the Eagles, they can shut up a lot of people. But until they do that, you beat Mason Rudolph and the Steelers. You didn't beat Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers. You beat Mason Rudolph and the Steelers barely. You've had close games against everybody in between. It doesn't matter. You can talk about this 4-game win streak. It wins a win, right, at the end of the day. But it's hard to look at them and say, wow, this team's that good. You snuck it out versus the Commanders. Jane Daniels out. You snuck it out against the Saints. You snuck it out against the Vikings. You snuck it out against the Giants. Just so many close games. Saints was 26-14, so maybe you can count that was a little bit more. But snuck it out against the Raiders, 25-24. Just so many close games all the way back. Cowboys, you beat them 31-14. Okay, you beat the Cowboys. But you got trounced by the Lions. You lost to the Vikings in the opener, and then you lost to the Ravens 30-16. If you beat the Eagles and you beat the Packers, both on the road, both in Philly and in Green Bay. Hats off to you. So yeah, I'm right there with you. You want to throw them in, but I just don't trust them. I'm not going to put the respect on a team until I see it, until I have that eye test where it's like, okay, I like what I'm seeing now. So yeah, I completely agree with you. The only one that I maybe would have flipped in my eyes would have been, the NFC is tricky. The NFC is tricky. I wanted to say the Seahawks being a little bit lower because Sam Darnold started to show the cracks in the armor again, but
That's fair.
draws me back in. So I think it might be okay up there. So yeah, I mean, I don't have any super big problems. But hey, if anybody out there has problems with Kyle's top 5 in the NFC, hit us up, 715-990-4914. That's 715-990-4914. Let us know what you think. What's your top 5 in the NFC right now? I'd love to hear it. We'd love to share it here on the show. So Kyle, AFC top 5. Who do you got in your AFC top 5 right now?
I feel like the AFC is a little bit more straightforward. I have the Pats at 1. They have the best record. May's playing really well. The defense outside of like the opening drive locks down. I know people are going to talk about their schedule, but they're playing like a confident bunch. I have them at 1. Broncos at 2. Love their defense. Have questions about Bo Nix and the offense, but they're kind of like the Seahawks. Defense travels. They play out in Denver where not every team can go out there and play. So I got them at 2. I'm going to put the Colts at 3. And Jonathan Taylor's just been like remarkable this year. Daniel Jones, I'm worried about. I'm starting to pay more attention to him because I want to see can he turn his play around. Because Kansas City stopped Jonathan Taylor and dared Daniel Jones to beat him, and Daniel Jones kind of came up short. 4, the bottom of the AFC for me might surprise you again. I'm going to take the Texans at 4.
Ooh. I like
Love
that defense.
the defense. And if they could figure out the offense on a consistent basis, they could be a scary team come playoffs. And then 5, I was caught between 2 teams here. I'm going to reluctantly go Baltimore because it's funny. Early in the season, the offense was playing well. The defense was struggling. Now it's like the defense has stepped up their game. The offense is struggling right now. They need to get both sides of the ball together, but they're winning. They've overtaken the Steelers. They're leading the division. I have the Ravens at 5.
I like it. I don't think I have any discretions with that one. I do agree. I like the Texans. The defense is really good. They just need, and CJ Stroud isn't out there, so maybe you get him back. Maybe you can start to put some of these pieces back together. The difference for me, you mentioned it right off the bat. We talked about the Bears and their easier schedule and barely sneaking games out, right? And they had the Patriots. The difference for me is the quarterback play.
Yeah.
Caleb Williams makes a lot of ill-advised, dangerous, still turning the ball over throws. Drake May has been a lot more efficient and has looked a lot better. So that's where I have the difference between those two teams is I like what I see in that quarterback play more with the Patriots than I do with the Bears. And I don't like the Bears. I don't like the Bears at all. I don't want to say that Caleb Williams can't do it. I just haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
So once we get that, and everybody's going to say, oh, the game-winning drives and this and that. It's like, oh, but okay. We saw the Vikings have a lot of close games. Was that last year they had a lot of close games there? What happened in round 1 of the playoffs? The Rams smoked.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just you worry about those kinds of teams and those kinds of games. And, you're going to play close games. You got to figure out how to win close games there. I completely agree. But they just haven't been able to put teams away. They just haven't passed the eye test, in my opinion. So I agree with that with the Bears versus the Pats argument there. So, Kyle, we got to do our pick'em. We got to do our pick'em here for Thanksgiving week. Last week, okay, sadly, I'm stinking at the pick'em. I am currently 0-2-1, and Kyle is 2-0-1. Last week, he won again, so he is 2-0-1 after our tie in week 1, and I am 0-2-1 here so far in our pick'em here for the show. So, Kyle, I think you started last week, so I think I got to start this week. Well, we might as well take the Thanksgiving games. We'll just throw them right out the door right now. Nothing screams Thanksgiving like Ravens and Bengals. That screams Thanksgiving to me. Let's take. Give me the Bengals to beat the Ravens. Joe Burrow's back. Give me the Bengals and Joe Burrow's return to beat the Ravens. I like that. Give me the Bengals.
Okay. Hey, Bengals have a good stretch here where they get the Ravens 2 times in 3 weeks. Where if they can win both of those, their season looks a lot different. So I don't hate that pick at all. For me, let's see. I usually go kind of a easy one for my first pick. And with that, I'll take the Seahawks to bounce back over the Vikings.
Oh, there we go. We got the Seahawks. Oh, we got a Black Friday game. Bears, Eagles. Give me the Eagles. Give me the Eagles to beat the Bears. There we go. I'll take the Eagles.
Okay. Let's go a little riskier here. I'm going to take those Texans going on the road and beating the Colts.
Texans on the road over the Colts. I like that. Oh, that's a bold one. I got to go bold. I don't know where to go bold with this, though. Man. These are some tough games. Let's go Chiefs over the Cowboys at AT&T. Give me the Chiefs over the Cowboys. Every season you look back on a game and you say that's where their season turned around and they were able to make the playoffs. The Chiefs are going to have that when they look back at the Colts game and say, wow, the Colts allowed us to get back into it, and now we feel better. Give me the Chiefs over the Cowboys.
Okay. Then I will go. I'm going Monday night. Could be a trap game because the Patriots have the bye waiting for them, but I think they get it done against the Giants Monday Night Football.
We got the Patriots over the Giants. There we go. There's our pick'em for Week 13 in this NFL season. We want to say, hey, thank you, Kyle, as always, for hopping on. Happy Thanksgiving to you. Happy Thanksgiving to all your family during this holiday season. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody out there, and thank you all for tuning into the show tonight. But shoot, Kyle, before I let you go, before we get out of here, let people know where to find you out there across social media. I almost missed it.
Like I said, look, happy Thanksgiving to you as well, and to those listening in. You can find me YouTube or Facebook, Chomping at the Bit. Easiest way to find me. Then you'll find the links to my other socials through those two.
Make sure you guys check him out. He's got fantastic stuff. He's going to be talking about these Thanksgiving games, some of the games coming up here, NBA, everything in between. Check him out there, Chomping at the Bit. And like I was saying, happy Thanksgiving to everybody out there. We're thankful for you guys tuning into the show here tonight. Make sure you guys are checking out the Facebook page, everything like that. If you missed any portion of the show, make sure you're listening back across all podcast platforms. That would be awesome. Like, subscribe, follow. We're thankful if you do that because that is just an awesome thing for us to see you guys interact with us across the web there. And also, if you have the ability, I'd love for you guys to go check out our apparel store. Our apparel store that we have opened up there with JBC. I got it that time. There we go. JBC screen printing and embroidery. Check them out there. I shared the link on the Facebook page. Every purchase of a t-shirt, hat, whatever it is, $5 from that purchase goes to Warm Kids Wisconsin. They help get kids in winter boots and snow pants this winter season. I can't stress it enough. Kids, we know it gets cold. Kids get cold even more than we do. Try to help if you can. If you want to just donate directly, you can do that too. Search them up, Warm Kids Wisconsin. You can find all the links to donate there. That would be awesome. We'd be thankful for you to do that. But like I said, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. We're out of here for the night. Until I talk to you guys again next Wednesday. See ya.